And we're live.
America stuff, and we're back with a very special Olympics episode. Joe Curtis, how you doing?
Doing well. How are you, John?
I'm doing good. The Olympics. I want to lie. I'm gonna lie. It's got me amped. I'm so excited for it.
I I just today watched the pommel horse routine from Stephen something.
Nguyen.
No, I know how to pronounce win.
But you're struggling over there. I was just trying to jump in and
No,
help.
it's like Polish or it's Eastern European.
Oh,
A
okay.
lot of vowels,
All right. How
but
do you
I
do?
crushed it.
Nice.
He's a pommel horse specialist, and you don't always want to bring a specialist with you on your team because if they don't totally, bring it, then they're kind of pulling you back. But he brought it.
Oh, so it was like he was doing pommel horse amongst a series of events for his team.
Yeah,
So he sucks at the other ones, but he's so dope at pommel horse that he just makes up for it.
yeah. He picked the team up to medaling, so
I didn't realize the pommel horse was that important.
I guess I don't understand the scoring at all. I don't really understand the routine either. I just understand it took a lot of core strength to complete it.
Is that what they were mentioning? Oh, it must take a lot of core strength.
No, that was just my observation.
A lot of arm strength too.
You kind of lock them out though.
Still, dude, you get like in a chair and you're trying to lock that out. You gotta get there still.
Well, getting there, yeah, but once you're there, I feel like
I feel like this is what you were saying in the alley. Like when you were younger, you kept feeling like I could be in the Olympics. You're like, yeah, dude, the locking out is hard, but once I'm there,
well, no, then
bronze medal for sure.
I'm just thinking it's really not that hard on the arms. I would think. I think it's more
The
chest and
Oh,
core
okay.
because you got to just keep your body basically 90 degrees the whole time moving around.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's a that's not easy.
Are you familiar with the Simone Biles wolf turn?
I am somewhat familiar with Simone Biles, not with her specific moves though.
I hope I'm saying this right. I believe her wolf turn is where she's on the balance beam and she gets like super low and like squat, and then she sticks one leg out and then spins in a 360-degree circle.
It seems like a lot of. I think that's core. That seems like
A lot of strength.
hamstring.
Well, what they were saying is that it's like Simone Biles is like the GOAT in ways that people don't understand. Like she is like she would Michael Jordan, Michael Jordan. So I
Yeah.
was watching this thing where they were trying to explain it, and they were showing like other gymnasts trying this wolf spin, like other like world class, and like they were getting it, but they were struggling, and she just was like, "Pow!"
Yeah. I was gonna say.
I'll jump in. This isn't a new. I feel like a bunch of people have said this, but I want to advocate for it one more time. I would like to see normal people in every Olympic event,
Yeah.
just one person, because like I know the pommel horse is hard, but I want to see.
I'd like to see just like a hologram of it, just like
Oh,
something animated onto the TV, so it's not distracting the competition.
okay. Oh, that is a really
But
good.
then, as the viewer, you can understand because they already know.
My idea was so much dumber than that. My idea was like Price is Right. Like every event, they call like one guy out of the stands. They're like, Joe Curtis, come on down for a pie. And you're like, oh my God. And then you get to go give it a shot.
I wouldn't want to.
Well, like, but they wouldn't be called, like, you would have to like pay extra. You know, it's how they would raise money. Like they paid $1 billion to clean up the poop river.
Fair.
If they need another $1 billion, they raise that for like 200 extra dollars on your $600 ticket. You can get a chance to give the palm. And there's gonna be delusional people out there, and it's gonna be super fun. He's gonna be like, I got this.
I don't think I could get one swing around the horse.
No, dude, I think I would have a hard time just like jumping and like pushing my like lifting my legs high enough to like shoot him through.
Yeah, the initial mount it looks very difficult.
Yeah, yeah. I think if I like started and like jumped up, I could just like hold myself like this on the front.
Yeah.
That's the extent of it.
Also seems like you just tear a rotator cuff or something.
Yeah, it seems like a good way to do that.
It's a lot of force moving around.
It's like you just don't get into pommel horse. It's not something everyday people are thinking. Maybe I'll do pommel horse. Like a middle-aged lady's like, I need a hobby.
Well, maybe a hobby horse then.
Ooh. She like shows up to her book club with like arms all bandaged up. She's like, well, the hobby horse was the smarter choice.
It was right there in the name.
Great word association.
Have you seen that the rugby playing girl who's all over social media
That
right
just
now?
smokes people.
Yeah,
Yeah. She's got a good fan base. Her family is always there.
yeah.
That's what I saw.
I really liked her when I first saw her, but she just has a social media opinion on everything, and it lost me.
What name something she has an opinion on that shook you off the trail?
Um, it just like it was like a guy came up to me at the store and he saw my hat and he asked if I was an Olympic athlete and what sport I played. I said guess, and he guessed gymnastics. Men only know one sport for women.
Oh.
Obviously, I'm not a gymnast. It's like I
Maybe that guy doesn't
I
know that
mean,
much about gymnastics.
men's gymnastic guys are kind of built like that. So why couldn't a woman gymnastic person be built like that?
Mm-hmm. Well, I just feel like that's assuming negative intent too.
A little bit. I don't know.
Like, is it, like even if men only know about one sport for women's gymnastics, is it that guy's fault?
Right? I mean, a little bit in this day and age.
Should be like that guy should be more informed.
Well, I mean, I guess the information is out there and readily available.
It's true.
So maybe we should all be a little more informed.
Some of those sports are boring, Joe.
Yeah, but maybe we should look into them before we open our mouths. Now I'm going to have a lot of hot
I feel
Olympic opinions on tape.
I know. I feel like you're like. I feel like I didn't really vibe with her because she had hot opinions on stuff. Can I tell you about my hot opinions on stuff?
Can I tell you my hot opinions on her?
Dude, she got you.
She did.
Yeah. I feel like though somebody like that has to have hot takes on everything. Like she's an aggressive woman. Like you see the way she runs over people on that rugby. Like that's what she does.
Well, also, you got 2 weeks to take advantage of the fame.
Mm.
And if you don't make a name by the end of those 2 weeks, you got to wait 4 years for another
crack at it. Yeah. How old is she?
She seems mid-20s.
Because wasn't
maybe early 20s.
I feel like I remember her from the last Olympics. Was there a COVID Olympics?
Tokyo, I believe.
Because yeah, COVID
2020.
Yeah, I don't really remember at all.
They've mentioned it. I don't think I ever watched it.
Yeah.
But they've been talking about it.
That's crazy. I had all the time in the world. I probably could have watched it.
I think it was very toned down.
Just people dying of COVID left and right. They're like, we gotta be tactful with this.
Probably.
Now people are dying because of the poop river.
Poop rivers are bad. We found that out in the 1600s.
See, we're still battling it. That's like humanity's number one enemy is poop rivers.
How we create our own enemies. How poetic.
Mm-hmm.
After a night of drinking, my number one enemy is also a poop river.
They call Joe's bathroom the River Seine.
Call me Moses, 'cause I'm splitting that sea.
Splitting that brown sea. I feel like I probably could have done more research because all I have for the podcast is like questions like why, what do you get for $1 billion in river cleanup?
I don't know.
You could literally hire like 1 million dudes to go and like pick the poop particles out one by one, and it's still not clean.
Well, I think you measure it in parts per million, so.
Oh.
I went to community college to be an ecology major. That never really panned out.
Oh. If it did, you'd be in France right now.
Possible. I was going to major in freshwater science.
Oh, that'd be wild.
Yeah.
You'd just be freaking out right now. Be like, I can't get this poop out of the water. What am I going to do? Community college didn't train me for this.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't get quite that far. I would try iodine, maybe.
Paris, if you're listening, maybe iodine.
That's how you treat drinking water. So I mean.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I think it's a step in the right direction.
I wonder if anyone's thought of running it through those life straws you see advertised.
Just make a dam made of life straw.
It's just got to pass through. That's a good idea. You are an innovator, dude.
I don't really know how that would work out. But
Well, you're not the that's for the civil engineers to figure out. Like you've done the science on purifying the water. They're the ones that have to implement it.
it's fair.
Extremely fair. That's how business works.
I guess you could also just put a bunch of charcoal in the river and kind of
Clean it out that way.
make a dam out of charcoal.
Everything
Very
should.
porous. Well, charcoal's what's in the filters.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just like that. Like you're giving this presentation to the Olympic Committee, and it's just like you could make a dam out of this.
I'm just thinking about it. You guys got a river full of poop. I can full of ideas. So
Mm-hmm. On Sunday, I was watching the horse racing event when we were playing poker, and the horses have to race through like all these long obstacle courses, and there's like one part where they like run through a little river one, and then like a few days later, heard all the poop controversy. It's like they were just making those horses run through the poop water.
I mean, horses be running through poop water.
You know what? Now that you say that, that is true. Horses live in like poop stables.
Horses be dropping piles wherever they can.
Yeah, they're a weird animal that they poop wherever and don't care.
They keep moving.
Not if they're in like a barn.
But if they're already in motion, they don't stop to crap.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I thought it was like a general thing, like they just keep cool and keep on the trail so they never get caught by their poop. But yeah, they walk and poop at the same
Yeah.
time. Not a lot of animals do that either. Did you learn in community college what kind of evolutionary forces pressured horses into having to poop while they walk?
I would assume that they got preyed on
That
Well,
was the only answer.
while they were pooping. So
Just keep it moving.
that would be my guess. You're taking a big horse dump. That could take a minute if you're standing still.
I wonder, is that something they just do like when we're riding them? Otherwise, they would stop. They're just like, these guys aren't going to let me stop, so I got to get this out.
That could have been bred into them, yeah.
Yeah. Well, not even bred into. You can learn how to poop when you're walking. There's a Stephen King book.
Well, yeah, but over generations, the rectum loosens.
Over generations, it would biologically select for the rectum that was better at pooping while walking.
Make them faster, yeah.
Yeah.
He's thinking about taking a shit. He's not running full speed, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, like the humans that would like see the ones pooping real good while they're walking. Like we had to have these two horses have sex. They're both good at pooping while they're walking.
Piling out.
I didn't see any horses pooping during the horse events in the Olympics.
Yeah, they probably bred that out for the Olympic horses.
Oh, yeah, they don't even poop. They got like a horse ostomy bag.
Kim Jong-un horse.
Kim Jong-un doesn't poop?
No. He's 100% efficient. All the food he puts in is just used up.
Somebody should ride him in the Olympics.
You didn't know that was the belief in North Korea?
I mean, I know they think like a lot of wild things about him, but I didn't know they thought he was 100% efficient.
He doesn't defecate. He doesn't even have a butthole.
That's crazy.
No need for it.
Like, what a mind-bending thing. Like, you're the guy that has to like install his toilet.
Yeah. I also like to imagine buttholes closing up like old earrings if you don't use them.
Got to gauge him back to an appropriate size.
They have the tools available.
They do. Just go down to the local piercer. Like, I'm gonna need some special hardware.
I think you'd go to maybe a local Spencer's Gifts or pipe shop. I guess now pipe shops don't also have to be sex shops. Now that weed's legal. Used to just be all your nefarious goods under one roof.
Well, I feel like they still have the tobacco and the sex stuff, which is just creepier without the weed stuff. I feel like the weed stuff mellowed them out a little bit.
The weed stuff gave anybody a good excuse to be in there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that way you could be like, you could go in there for the sex stuff, and if somebody saw you, you could be like, oh, I'm just here for the weed. Sex stuff.
I saw it and my curiosity got the best of me. I looked around at it. Sue me.
I thought these were bongs. These are butthole gauges? Not for me. Yeah, BJ was saying that when he worked at the little smoke shop for a while. He's saying it was like very skeevy sex people, and then they sold like a lot of stuff for like cocaine or crack, like one hitter pieces and stuff.
I mean, I think once you get into crack, butt stuff is a lot more on the table.
Yeah, the table gets bigger.
Yeah,
More stuff gets on there.
more stuff gets in there.
It's hard to keep track when you're doing the crack.
That's a scary game when you can't keep track of what's in your butthole.
Yep, that's what they used to tell us in the 80s. Keep track of your butthole.
Should.
I was only around for a couple of years in the 80s, so I probably shouldn't be speaking on it. My one friend posted today, and this is the only reason I know this, and it might not even be true. Could be Facebook rumors, that America didn't get any medals in shooting.
Damn. Probably because it wasn't in a school. Thank you, studio audience.
Yeah, I think like 200 people made that joke in the comments.
Yeah, probably.
Like, why don't they hold the events in schools? Like, the FBI killed all our best participants.
I mean, you couldn't even hit him in the head. Wasn't our best participant. I mean, why isn't like Chris Kyle participating in that?
Ooh. Yeah, it'd be like when hockey didn't allow professional hockey players in the Olympics, and it'd be like college guys. Yeah, they're like, no, America, no Chris Kyles, no school shooters.
No school shooters is fair. Usually they don't make it out alive.
Yeah. It's like one of their letters is just like, I really hope to make it to the Olympics. How sad. Or like they're like interviewing the people, like, he seems so normal. He was talking about the Olympics a lot, though.
Yeah. Dreams of grandeur.
What's your favorite Olympic event?
I kind of prefer the Winter Olympics for viewing, to be honest.
Why so?
It's more peaceful. I don't know.
Okay. You know what? I agree with you too.
Figure skating's nice.
Yeah, I do like I like that everyone's bundled up in a nice coat. That seems cozy.
How many former Olympians can you name off the top of your head?
Michael Phelps, Shaun White. I don't know her first name. That Ledecky lady,
Katie.
Yep. That was crazy.
She's currently competing.
Yeah, she did that 17-second thing. Simone Biles. That's probably it off the top of my head.
Okay, I can add a few.
Nyjah Houston. That 11-year-old Asian girl that's really good at skateboarding.
I can't give you that one without a name.
All right, fair. I had to try.
I can do Apollo Ono.
Oh. I'll count yours. You got mine. Okay. I'll count yours.
No repeats though.
That's what keep my 5 up. I'll call you out. I remember.
Greg Louganis. Bruce Jenner. You got to make those 2 weeks count.
It's like we wouldn't even have Kim Kardashian if it wasn't for the Olympics.
Well, she was more OJ fame.
Yeah, well, a lot of things came together. Kim Kardashian.
It's a super group, really.
All right. Sorry to throw you off track. Bruce Jenner.
Okay.
God damn it. Can I jump back in?
Yeah.
Because I'm just going to throw out like the dream team now. You know, you got Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Isaiah Thomas.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't even thinking basketball players.
Oh, I could just go. Yeah, you could talk about the current guys now. You got Luka, Jokic. Yeah, I could go. That's cheating for me though. That's just basketball. I just know that.
Yeah,
I don't feel good about those answers. I
think more individual sports because then I don't know.
Team sports are nonsense.
Well, just like basketball's everyone's already so famous. they don't really count as Olympic athletes. I feel like they're NBA athletes, not Olympic athletes.
That's yeah. If you're talking about him, you're saying like that's an NBA guy.
Yeah.
You're never saying like, oh, Kevin Durant, that Olympic basketball star.
Is there anybody on the Olympic basketball team who's not playing professionally?
No. And there's like nobody on the Olympic basketball team that isn't like an insane all-star. Like they're the best of the best of the best.
Well, I mean, why wouldn't you?
Well, I mean, like if you look at like the other teams, like Serbia's got like not regular dudes, but like not near as famous. The stats when USA played Serbia against, so they're, anything about basketball?
I know the basic rules and
Okay.
play the game.
So there's a guy that plays for the Denver Nuggets, Jokic. They call him the Joker. He's hilarious because during the finals, it's just a job to him. He never gets excited. He's won a couple of championships, no emotion. He raises ponies back in his home country, and he loves that. Like when he wins, like one of his horses wins a race, he goes absolutely nuts. But they recently played Team USA, and when he was in the game, the points were 88-88, and when he was out of the game, it was like something crazy, like 39-1. So like one guy is like as good as most of our basketball stars.
Crazy.
And he hates basketball. He's just good at it. All right. Where were you? Luganus.
The well's running pretty dry. I know I got a couple more in there. I just can't.
Who was that lady that? Tanya Harding. Did she ever go to the Olympics, or did she get in trouble?
Had to, yeah.
Was she in trouble before that?
Nancy
for breaking?
Kerrigan too.
Yeah, oh, for sure, Kerrigan. Nice, deep cut.
Yeah. Who was the volleyball player who was really big, like 2008?
The one that married Laird Hamilton, Gabby Reese. Was that her name?
Not the one. Mia Hamm. No, that's a soccer player.
Yeah, Mia Hamm soccer.
Can't think.
Zinedine Zidane. He was a soccer player from France.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm just throwing names out again from team sport. All I have is team sport names at this point.
I guess volleyball is a team sport also, but it's not like a very popular outside of the Olympic sport.
No.
I'm gonna look it up.
Give it a shot. I'm intrigued now. Brendan Morris, by the way, if you're available, you could be looking this up right now. I was watching a lot of table tennis.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, if you are from China and you play table tennis, you probably have a little boy's haircut.
Yeah, they do a lot of bowl cuts over there.
There's a lot of bowl cuts.
Finding pictures of her, I just can't find her name.
Really? They don't put the name like down in the search?
Well, I just searched Misty May Trainer.
Show me a picture. I'm going to look up Gabby Reese now. Okay, yeah. So if you want to follow along, just look up Misty May Trainer. I don't know anything about her.
She's 47 years old now.
You know this lady? Look up Gabby Reese if you want to follow along.
She's 54 years old now. They probably played together at some point.
Yeah, I'm sure they know of, probably friends.
Probably at some Olympic. They probably.
Yeah, Gabby Reese married Laird Hamilton.
I don't know who that is.
He is a big wave surfer guy that lives in Hawaii.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. He's a fun guy. He sells, his big thing right now is like a healthy coffee creamer. It's kind of gross tasting. Sorry, Laird.
Was surfing new to the Olympics this year, or has that been in the past?
I think it's new this year. I want to say that's new. Skateboarding's been in since like 2016, though.
Surfing is boring to watch live.
Dude, yeah.
They're waiting for a wave for like 15, 20 minutes.
Yep.
And then because you got to commit to the wave you pick. And once you hit it,
I haven't really watched it, so that's what they're just showing, like 15 minutes of just people bobbing in the ocean.
Just treading water, floating on a board.
Oh, that's insane.
Swim over here a little bit, swim over there a little bit.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's also streaming, so I don't know.
Oh, so you just have it on all day?
Yeah, so they have all the events going that are live, so you can
Uh-huh.
watch any of them. I think if we were regular cable, they would probably cut around most of that. But I don't
Mhm.
know. But because they could drop in whenever, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know what the format is for it. Like surf competitions, like a lot of them will send guys out there for like two guys out for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, that
And
seems to be the how they were doing it too. Two guys at
okay.
a time, and
Okay,
then
so yeah.
I think they give them a half hour.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 20 to 30 minutes. But yeah, that can be extremely boring, like when the bat, because they have to be so selective because there's like
Yeah,
all kinds of rules. Like if you have priority, you can drop in a wave and the other guy can't fuck it up for you. So you have to be like really careful to get a really good wave. And then the other guy's going to be like a little bit more active, but depending on like the swell and where they're at, it can be the wave that they're surfing though is nuts. That wave in French Polynesia is a killer.
yeah, because I think it goes from 100 feet to 6 feet in very short.
Crazy fast, and then there's just like super sharp reef. The guy that's hosting it is a surfer and comedian, Colin Jost.
Yeah, he's on SNL.
Yeah, I'd never heard of him, but somebody was like, "Oh, why is this guy hosting it?" And I looked it up, and I guess he's got a place up in Montauk in New York, which is like a very mellow East Coast like sand bottom surf break. And he already fucked his feet up on the reef, got them all cut up.
Yeah, that'll happen.
It's scary, dude. It's like taking a city boy, put him out of the country.
Yeah,
Doesn't know how to handle that, dude.
yeah,
Tornadoes out there.
yeah.
I feel like surf competitions are a lot like SNL. It's better just to watch the highlights. Like when it's over, somebody condenses it down into like 3 minutes.
I think that is very accurate
Unless you're
representation.
really into surfing, the small details can be a lot for somebody that doesn't give a shit.
Yeah. Um, thought I could think of another Olympian. No.
Dig deep for the Olympics. I like the skateboarding stuff. That's a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
I find it I find it more fun the ones that I participate in by like a long shot. Like I'm learning how to skateboard this summer, so it's been interesting watching like just how good they are at moving the board around and how again like how fucking bad I am at it. I think it would be more fun for everybody if they got to see a regular person being terrible at it. They could be like, "Holy shit, these guys are
Yeah, I feel like most people who would see the regular person would just go like,
good."
"Yeah, I'd do better than that."
And that's why you put it on there. It's the same thing like you know those ads you get on your phone all the time where it's like the little army guys and they go the wrong way
Yeah,
and lose people. You're like, oh, I could fucking do that. Like I'm gonna download the game and show them.
it's not the same game
It would get America more excited and out there. It would be like I could probably skateboard better than that.
because they would all be like, "Well, obviously, I'm not going to be as fast as those guys, but I'm going to be a lot faster than that guy.
Yeah, I can skateboard way better than John
Yeah,
Reed. That guy's a fucking idiot.
this guy can't even hit a triple kickflip. What the fuck?"
When I was 13, I was hitting triple kicks.
Cops are here.
Uh-oh. They heard we said something bad about the Olympics.
Talking bad.
I heard the craziest thing is like nobody wants to host the Olympics anymore.
Yeah,
Like for this Olympics, it was only like Paris and Los Angeles that applied, and they were showing like in 2000s, in 2000 like 40 cities applied, and they had to like select. Now it's just like, please somebody do it.
yeah. I wouldn't really want that in my city.
No, they're gonna spend $1 billion to clean up poop, and you're still gonna have poop.
Yeah.
It's too much.
Then they're shutting down like so much of the city,
Can you imagine if you like worked in that area?
building a lot of temporary infrastructure.
Uh huh. It's not like if you're from like that area, they probably don't give you like cheaper tickets. So it's like you're forced out of your area for a
Yeah.
while. So
You-
rich people from around the world can come.
Yeah, you would kind of hope they have some like locals only tickets, but maybe not. Probably not.
Brendan, look into that. Get back to us. I'm gonna send them the link to this. Get them all excited.
Yeah.
Or he's gonna be like, "The fuck am I looking into that?"
I think Nick Stafford could be a fun producer.
Ooh.
I don't know how he is with a computer. Seem decent.
See, I feel like he would make computers feel uncomfortable.
I think he's got a college education.
He does seem college educated.
Nick Stafford, send an application.
Absolutely. To the Olympics or us. Either way. Either way. I feel like they should have like regular guy events.
Like just the whole heat of regular guys.
Yeah. Just for funsies.
It's not really the Olympics at that point.
I mean, they got Snoop Dogg and Kevin Hart announcing it. Like,
Yeah, two guys at the top of their respective games.
what? What respective games are they at the top of?
Rap and comedic acting.
I'll take the second one. First one?
He's not currently at the top of the game.
Yeah.
He was.
You know what? Shout out to Snoop Dogg as a fellow balding man. Have you seen any of those interviews?
No. Did he shave it?
No, the guy was just somebody was making fun of him because if you watch like your Snoop Dogg's hairline throughout the year, like it just keeps like marching back, like his dreads like start further and further, and that's like such a slick move because when you got the dreads, they're thick enough when you pull them into the ponytail, they're covering the bad spot back here, so you're just dealing with the front going back, and like Snoop Dogg, it's a losing battle.
Yeah. Is LeBron still holding on to it?
Dude, the Olympic basketball, like it was wild watching those dudes. Like so many of them they look like they got mange.
Yeah.
You just got to start buzzing it more.
Ben Bradshaw.
We had a great talk about that on when I had him on the cannabis one. I have a new theory on it too.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm obsessed with the idea of blood flow being the issue. And I was looking up, I'll show you a picture. If you look up the, what do you call them? The arteries that serve blood to the head. There's three main artery groups that do it. There is the superficial temporal, which comes up like the masseter and like does all the spot where dudes lose their hair. And then two others like supply the areas like from the back where like people never lose their hair. And like, is your jaw ever tight like right here?
I suppose.
Yeah, that's my new theory.
Okay.
I'll probably still be bald, but we'll see. My hair comes raging back.
You're just like massaging to get more.
Yeah,
blood
because
flow?
I've been massaging the top of my head because like all those guys are doing like those derma rollers and
Yeah.
stuff. And I had a really bad back in my 20s, like really bad. Like after an accident, they said like if I didn't get surgery, I wasn't going to walk. I was creeped out by that, and turns out it was just like a blood flow issue to the right areas. So between like being stressed and getting tense, I was like blocking the blood, and then I wasn't working out enough to like bring fresh blood flow to the area.
Oh.
So I've been
So stress blocks blood flow.
Yeah, well, stress causes your muscles to get tight, and tight muscles block blood flow.
Could explain my balding.
Mm-hmm. Are you stressing?
I just always stress.
So like now I'm starting to like think about all this. So I've been applying it to my hair. So I've been like doing like a daily. I got like a couple different things to like do head massages. But as I was driving to the show yesterday, I was like, what blood vessels am I trying to stimulate? And I was thinking about it, and I looked it up this morning. I was like, holy shit, like the one place on my head that's like always crazy tight, because like I'm a jaw grinder at night, like an overstressor for sure. And I was like, yeah.
Makes sense.
So yeah, if I ever stop coming to this podcast, it's because I figured out hair loss, and that's a much more lucrative market. I'll just be massaging dudes' heads all day.
I feel like you'd have to create some sort of tool or something to really make money there.
Mm-hmm. Probably. Or I would just be like a famous person, go on Dr. Phil, just be like hyping it up and talking, and then people would make the tools and then pay me to endorse them.
I don't know. I think most people would just believe you got the hair transplant.
Again, though, because the problem, I would be down with the idea of a hair transplant, but you still have to take the medications.
Yeah.
And when I tried the medications, I was so sensitive to them. Like my boner would never get in the Olympics.
Yeah.
I just can't risk that.
I don't think my boner would make it to the Olympics in the first place, but
No, get some PEDs, performance enhancing.
well, Blue Chew.
Yeah, you're never just thinking like, I think my boner could do not gold medal boner, but podium
Qualifier boner.
Yeah, I could get to the Olympics. I'd be 8th place when I got there, but I'd get there.
It's a good boner.
Yeah, not bad at all. And now that we're off the hair medication, things are looking good again. Mm-hmm. Not to give our viewers too much life info. But yeah, I like the skateboarding a lot.
Oh, yeah.
That was my favorite one to watch. because it's like unlike the surfing, like a skate, like the park's like always there. You're just moving from obstacle to obstacle to obstacle.
True. Drop in the pipe.
I didn't see. I don't know if they do half pipe.
Kind of a bummer if they don't. That
Yeah,
seems
that-
like where you get. That seems like the main trick competition.
Well, like the skate or the street skating's been really popular. Like Nyjah Houston, like running those lines. The I forget what they call it, but there was a whole like league, like a street skate parking league that got really big in like the last 10 years that Nyjah Houston's been a big part of. And it really looks like the Olympics based their competition off that. And again, I've only been watching it. I was on vacation, so it was just like somebody would have it on in the house, and I would walk by and see it.
Right on.
I start to feel and sound like a conspiracy theorist when I talk about the Olympics, like how we're spending all this money, and like the athletes don't. You know, the ones that don't get lucky with the 2 weeks of fame, like most of them are working like second and third jobs. Like, did you hear Flavor Flav?
Flavor Flav.
Flavor Flav. That's us cheering for you, Flav.
That's more Flavor Flav style.
It's closer. Not the same guy. Joe can tell the difference.
That seemed like more of a Little John what.
But again, shout out to Flavor Flav. If you don't know, the women's water polo team
Yes.
was looking for sponsorship because some of them were working second and third jobs to make it. Flavor Flav, is the father of a girl athlete, was like, this ain't right. He's helping them out. Very heartwarming. I always forget. Blue is go or green is go?
Green is go.
All right. I drive a car. That should make you nervous on the road.
You can hit the button again if you want a bigger hit. I just got to say, hello, baby lungs. Olympics. You think I would have thought of another Olympic athlete by now? So what was that? 8 we were able to name off the top of our heads.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Really shows you got to make an impact in that 2 weeks, though.
I know. I feel like I could go to the Olympics for getting high and then still being able to do stuff.
Yeah, I could see you doing that.
It was fun. Lily got to hang out at the family reunion. She came for a bit and got to meet my cousin Reed, who is an extreme dabber like myself.
Reed.
That is, I was waiting for you to answer that. The family's gonna love that. Yeah, everyone asked that question. No, not to dox him, but he's got another last name.
Mm-hmm.
My aunt gave him her last name as his first name.
Okay.
But young Reedley is quite the dabber as well, and she was astonished that there's another one of us out there.
Well, makes sense.
Because for a while, like when we first started dating, Lily she wasn't seeing me smoke with other people, so she just seen me dab, and she thought that was like the usual.
Yeah, I think Megan gets a bad perception of what a normal tolerance for weed is.
Yep. Yeah, when a regular person takes a dab that's not ready for it, they're like, holy shit.
I cough a lot on a dab, but I can do them back to back to back and keep going.
Yep. A couple of my buddies came out to our union a few years back, and they both hit the dab. And my one friend was like freaking out for a minute and then wanted to like fall asleep. And we're like, no, dude, if you can just stay awake, it'll be really good. He got through it, and it was good. Our other friend was just quiet like the whole day, hanging out with us, doing stuff. We were like going for hikes, swimming, and eating food. And then like 8 hours later at the fire, he finally like starts talking. He's like, holy shit, like I took that dab and I was like in a room behind myself so I could like see myself hanging out, but like I couldn't talk to you guys.
Yeah.
And he's like, I saw you guys take 10 dabs throughout the day, and I knew that what was happening to me was from one.
Yeah. My first dab, I believe I was very high for like 2 hours, and then I slept for 16 hours. So
Why were you tired beforehand?
I guess.
Yeah.
I felt really good when I woke up.
Just 16 hours.
I think I went to bed at like 4 p.m. and then got up at like 6 a.m. and I was like, I thought it was 6 p.m.
Yeah. Yeah, dude,
Time flies.
You needed some Z's.
I guess. Yeah. That was high school.
I
Good
was
times.
it was fun when my brother first started smoking. We just had like a bong, and we would smoke and then play Gears of War. And I would always like know he was falling asleep because like he'd be doing like one of these, but he'd pull back on the joystick. So we were playing back in the day. It was two guys on one screen, and you just see his character looking up at the ceiling, look over, be like, "Oh, he's asleep."
I'd like to get more split screen action in games today. It's
Yeah.
hard to find a good single player or a multiplayer where you have to be in the same room. Those are games I get into.
So you don't like playing online with other people?
If all my friends are online and we can get in a party together,
Mhm.
sure. But even then, it's like somebody's cutting out. Or my mic's cutting out.
It doesn't always work as good as you would want it to.
Yeah. But you remember when you were like a kid, teenager,
Oh, I'm
and
about
just all your boys in the same room, just
GoldenEye. I remember as a kid because like it's so hard. You just can't do that as an adult. You don't have enough of friends that close. Like when we were a kid, like proximity was the measure of friendship.
true.
And I had 3 friends in the neighborhood, and we played GoldenEye. No, I had 2 friends in the neighborhood, and I had a brother. So with our powers combined, we could play 4v4 GoldenEye.
Hell yeah.
It's good times.
Great oldies.
My parents were actually really into Mario Kart and Mario Party.
Ooh.
So when I was like 6 years old, they got a Super Nintendo. And I have like loads of memories of us as like kids just getting up on Saturday morning and having Mario Kart tournaments. And then when the Mario Party came out on the GameCube, or no, on the 64 is when Mario Party came out.
Yeah.
Fond memories.
I really didn't get into Mario Party until Wii.
Okay. Smash Brothers?
I got into Smash Brothers on the GameCube.
Oh, Smash Brothers on the GameCube was awesome. That was the best one.
Brawl, I think.
Yeah, Super Smash Brothers Brawl. Because like that one, like they had like the right amount. I feel like the ones now, like I played on the Wii a couple days ago at a friend's place. I was like, there's too many characters now. It's overwhelming. It feels like Pokemon.
Yeah.
It's like you guys know I get easily overwhelmed.
Does it feel like Pokemon because of the multiple Pokemon?
Yes. Good point, Joe.
Saying.
But yeah, I do think, I don't know, I don't play any screen-based games anymore, though. I'm 100% VR.
Nice.
Are you?
I tried it at a mall once. I'm sure it's gotten better by now.
Uh-huh.
It just, it made me dizzy a little bit, and like my stomach didn't feel great after.
How long ago? Do you know which, like,
3 years ago, probably.
was it like one that you just put on that didn't have any cables?
It had cables on it.
Okay. So you're probably one generation back. The new one, that's what they improve every time, is like less and less people are getting sick. But that does, when I got a game called Hyper Dash, and it's a 5v5 arena shooter. It's a lot like Quake, kind of. But I was so enamored with it. Like I told my brother, like I texted him that night. I was like, it's going to take, like, I don't care how long it takes to convince you. Like you got to get one. I said same thing to my cousin, and they both got headsets, and my brother can play, but my cousin gets sick. And it was very sad because we all used to play Rocket League together.
Oh yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, he would get sick. But right now, you ever watch Attack on Titan?
Yeah.
Dude, they just came out with a really good Attack on Titan game.
You're a scout?
You are a scout. I was up to, and Lily, I know I told you I went to bed at 3 last night. I was up until 4 in the morning last night, Joe. It was bad.
Damn.
Dude, it was so good. So, like, yeah, they only have 2 levels out, but it basically starts, like, right when the Colossal Titan, like, smokes everything. So you have to, like, go out, and it kind of, like, follows the show. Like, you have to go out and protect the main gate, and then you have to go and protect the supply depot. Those are, like, the 2 missions. And then there's going to be more stuff coming out in winter. But it's so fucking good.
The full circle of the writing on that show was so crazy.
Oh,
And
insanity.
I didn't even see it coming until the end.
Well, it did such a good job of, like, every, like, 3 or 4 months, like, the world would open up in a way when you're like, oh my God.
And they just kept peppering it in from the beginning. Just not in a way, not laying it on too heavy, but it's definitely all there.
Are you a manga reader or just an anime guy?
I read the occasional, not a big reader, but
Okay.
I have some.
Well, that was one for me where, like, I've read through it twice and I've watched through it twice now because it was like, God, it's so good how it reminds me a lot of Game of Thrones and how, like, when something big happens, you're like, oh my God. And then you're like, oh, I'm so stupid for missing all that.
Yeah, that finale was worth the wait.
Mm-hmm.
I think more anime should do that. And,
Be good.
well, just like the 3-hour finale or whatever, split up
Oh.
into 2 parts.
Mm-hmm.
Really take their time on it.
Yep. Yeah, masterpiece. Great.
Yeah.
And because I feel like Demon Slayer, like the average episode was probably as good, but like the finale is not like as impactful. Like and it's much more predictable.
Yeah.
I like that they're starting to make anime for like adults.
Yeah.
So, like, I know you guys are grown up now. We're gonna show you some people getting caught up.
I mean, before shonen anime was really popular, anime was dark.
Yeah. Some of that early stuff. Well, I mean, like you think about like why can't I say like that first big movie, Akira. Yeah. Like Akira was nuts. Like when people watch Akira, you're like, what? Or even like Princess Mononoke. I was watching that with Lily, and it was like the first like 10 minutes of it are like so calm, and then he gets like the demon arm and shoots a guy's head off with an arrow.
Yeah.
They're just like, they just peppered. But what I love about it is it's so real. They like show aspects of everything, whereas like some of the other stuff is like very safe in some ways.
Yeah. Sure.
Dude, we gotta have like an anime themed one.
Yeah, for sure.
But we gotta like plan it like a month or two in advance and like share a bunch of stuff, like what you're obsessed with and what I'm obsessed with. We'll go off on that.
I almost think we might be better off with just an anime themed podcast.
Dude, I could go down rabbit holes.
I could too.
I feel like that's pretty America. It'll turn into anime stuff really soon. I'm gonna write that down in my notes. Anime stuff. We'll make a plan. Sorry, Olympics.
I feel like that's where our conversations actually like start picking up with enthusiasm.
Like the Olympics is just holding us back.
We're like, I don't know, like the pommel horse seems hard. Can't even name Olympians. I can name you like 50 protagonists off the top of my head.
I was watching, so she's super into visual effects. So whenever I'm interested in something like a movie or show or something, she'll look up the VFX. And she sent me a really good one talking about like how obsessed Attack on Titan is with scale, but then like how often they just blow the scale out when they're like drawing it. So like, you know, like those cut scenes where they're like 50 meters, 100 meters.
Yeah.
Like if you look at that, like, and then they'll show the wall is like huge and like the buildings are like this. Like, wait, what? I thought you said 50 meters. Like most 2-story buildings are about 50 meters.
I don't think it's 2 stories.
All right, I got bad architecture there, but I'll send you the link. But it was like
50 meters is 150 feet.
4 stories.
Okay.
But there's some church towers in there that should be that high.
There should probably be. It's pretty rudimentary village. I'd say towards the inner walls, yes.
If I didn't have video to back me up, I wouldn't be so confident right now. Joe would make me doubt myself, but I'll send you the video because what they did and what I loved about it is they were saying that like scale doesn't need to be irrational in the show. It needs to be emotional. It needs to make you feel stuff. So like sometimes when they were showing like the Titans versus like the shifter Titans versus the humans, they'd be like way more scaled up than they should be.
Yeah.
But it just gives you that feeling of like intenseness in that moment.
True.
Dude, the game is so good. Getting grabbed by a Titan is so fucking frightening. Like when you're swinging by them and like you don't swing far enough, and they just get you, and like the whole screen goes red, and you're just like, ah.
Yeah, terrifying.
Yeah, very terrifying. Great job, whoever. It's something Unbreakable. It's like Titan VR Unbreakable. It's very good.
Oh yeah.
You got any good media since I've seen you last?
Could you repeat the question?
Have you consumed any good media?
I watched Van Helsing, kind of an old one, but very enjoyable. Hugh Jackman.
Doesn't there like a guy with the horns, or is that a different one? The red guy? Oh no,
Hellboy. That's Hellboy.
that's Hellboy. Van Helsing. He's like a vampire hunter.
Yeah, he fights Dracula.
Oh, okay, cool.
It was solid. There's parts that could have been better.
Do without.
Yeah. Spoilers. You want spoilers?
Oh yeah, I've seen it.
All right. The
It's been a long time.
main love interest dies at the end,
Ah.
and he kills her because he transformed into a werewolf to kill Dracula,
Oh,
and then it changes him back or whatever. But while he's still in his werewolf form,
he kills her.
he kills her.
That's sad.
Doesn't add anything to the story,
Emotional weight.
I guess.
Yeah, dude, Hugh Jackman's so handsome. It makes me feel sad he doesn't get the lady.
He's just gonna go find another lady. He's still so handsome.
Oh, that's okay. So it makes me sad for the lady. It's
Yeah,
like she had Hugh Jackman.
her whole family gets wiped out. She was the last of her family. And then, like, last scene, you see, like, her in the clouds going to her family, and they're all really happy together because they had a curse on them that they had to defeat Dracula to lift the curse. And then he killed Dracula, so the curse was lifted, even though he killed her, too.
It was not a memorable movie.
Yeah, it really wasn't that great of a movie now that I'm thinking back on it. Good visual effects for the time.
Mm-hmm. There was a lot of movies I feel like I watched just because I was living in my parents' house and they had cable.
I think some of the werewolf and vampire effects in that are better than the movies coming out today. Just more, I think they use a lot more practical along with the CGI
Yeah,
instead of just fully relying on the CGI.
goes a long way. There's a lot of bad CGI artists out there.
Yeah.
A little chilly.
We keep the house chilly.
I'm just a little wisp of a man. I lose heat quickly. It was a good show at Union Street last night. It's a good crowd. Everybody felt like they were feeling it.
A lot of women in the crowd. That's usually not traditional at that show.
No women on stage though, so kept that tradition going.
Yeah, that,
One we would love to break.
just love to.
Does Brendan Morris have a sister?
I think so. I think he has a gay sister.
Brendan, what's she doing? Is she funny? Bring her out. We could use some women on the stage.
I'm pretty sure that's him I'm thinking of. I've never met his sister, but I think he told a story about her on stage.
Okay. Like just Brenda.
Could be fun.
Just Brenda Pecker. Not a lot of people.
I feel like he one of the better sets of the night.
Oh, I'm so excited. I everybody that's coming up for the August show, I felt like did really good. Like Addison's set's really honing in.
Yeah.
It was so funny too, because on I was on vacation, so I'm way behind on getting the promotional stuff together. I hit them all up. I was like, hey, I need headshots and shit. And then that night I went home and I took a dab. I put on DBZ Abridged.
Oh yeah.
I started drawing and I fell asleep.
Oh yeah.
I woke up at 12:30, did Wordle, put DBZ back on, started drawing and fell asleep again. Then in the morning, Brendan was like, hey, I think I want just Glenn to come up to Sheboygan. It's like, you're so lucky. Bring him on up.
Oh yeah.
And then I was like, after I won't spoil it, but that bathroom joke, I love that. That got me so good. That tickled me.
Good old Glenn.
Out there tickling.
Glenn's gonna get herpes if he doesn't already have it.
Oh, I know.
Puts his mouth on everything.
When he was talking about the roadkill deer and they got mad at him, I was like, yeah, because like deer are just riddled with nonsense.
Yeah. He just goes out and pets it.
I know,
Film.
dude. It's like you're gonna get like hand, foot, and mouth disease.
You can't be doing that.
Oh, I know, and like sharing turkey legs with carnies.
And then he just grabbed a random can on a table and tipped it back.
That was last night.
Yeah, somebody had left left behind a can on the table. I don't know if it had anything in it or not.
That sounds like more like alcoholism than risk management at that one, but maybe they're
No, it was
to be funny.
yeah. because he was doing like a whole awkward walk up, and he grabbed it and like looked around and then tipped it back.
Brendan, you are not robust enough to handle having herpes. It
Yeah.
will ravage your body.
Yeah, dude. Cold sores are scary.
Yeah, dude. I
Um,
mean, just
I don't want to share a blunt with a guy with a cold sore.
scary Glenn. Yeah. We won't have a talk with you, but we will send you this clip.
Yeah.
Get it together. Like pretend to lick stuff, like how they pretend to kiss, like on stage, they put their hand in the way and then they like kiss their thumbs instead
Sleight
of
of hand with your mouth.
Don't be
Sleight
kissing
of
roadkill.
mouth.
Sleight of mouth. They call him sleight of mouth, Brendan.
Maybe hide things in your mouth. Pull them out later. It could be fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, big crowd. The August show is going to be the dirty show. That should be fun.
You know Addison's going to show up in a three-piece suit.
Oh, I am expecting it. I will be furious if it's anything less.
He's kind of set a standard for himself now.
Oh, now that he went to the Right Brain, 1 and 3 piece, like where do you go from that? Do they make 4-piece suits?
I think they make up to a 5-piece.
All right.
Actually, they might make a 7-piece, but I don't know what that entails.
Addison probably
I might be
does.
pulling numbers out of my ass at this point.
Yeah. I like that all the ones that you mentioned were odd numbered, like 3, 5, and 7-piece suits.
Yeah, I don't think you want an even-piece suit.
I'm so lost after a 3-piece suit. I don't know what the 4th and 5th pieces would even be. I feel like a 4-piece suit is
Cummerbund?
so a 3-piece suit for the viewers that don't at home that don't know, a 3-piece suit would be pants, a jacket, and then the little vest. I feel like a 4-piece you just add like a nice hat.
Hat, yeah.
The cummerbund's like the waist thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you're probably not adding a hat without a fancy waist thing.
I think you go cummerbund before you go hat.
Oh.
If you're, not an asshole.
Yeah. Joe's like, never taking this guy out.
I mean, sure, Magic Al would put on the hat before the cummerbund, but you take the sleeves off the jacket too, so.
Joe, do you know where I was raised?
Yes.
I've been to multiple weddings where men are wearing 3-piece suits and a backwards trucker hat.
Well,
I've seen a man get married with a baseball cap on. I'm not going to know anything about suits.
was it like a balding thing and he was insecure about it? I assume
Always.
anytime somebody's in a situation where they don't want
Always.
to take their hat off, it's like, you just shave it, man.
It's just, yeah. Yep. Yeah. It was like in Seinfeld when George Costanza went to that wedding and he had met the lady when he was wearing Timberlands in. So he's like, I can't do anything with her without the Timberlands in because I'll be 3 inches shorter. And he shows up to the wedding and she's like, George, did you paint your Timberlands black with a marker? He did.
Classic Costanza.
Yeah, you got to like early on, you want to impress the person you're trying to date, but you also want to like really let them see you for a bit.
Yeah. You
'Cause
gotta, I mean, you don't want to disappoint them later once they're already locked in.
No facade can last forever.
No.
Eventually, you will be found out for who you are.
Yeah.
Hat wearers.
You want to at least, you don't want to swing the door wide open, but you want to crack the door enough that they can see what's behind you
Mm-hmm.
to an extent.
Well, they can see like the shadow of what
Yeah.
you're doing. Like
Sure.
they can't see what you're doing in that room by yourself, but they can see the outline.
They're like, oh, okay.
And they can be like, okay, I'm okay with that.
Got an idea for what's going on there.
Yeah. Not too many more surprises.
I can get comfortable with that.
Yeah.
Or just like, oh, okay, I need to get the fuck out of here.
For real. Some red flags out there.
Yeah.
What-
Do you find that the red flags often just look like flags when you wear your rose-colored glasses?
I have been on some bad dates, Joe. I'm starting to think now that it was the glasses.
It's possible.
Yeah, I was like, this person's just passionate about like naval stuff. They got all these white flags. Like if they need to surrender, they're ready. Turns out they were red the whole time. I have to be really careful when I wear those glasses when I'm driving because they do block out the green light.
So you can't tell
If the light is green, it just looks like the power's out in it. You can see the yellow and the red. But yeah, when you have a green light, it's just nothing.
I think it's usually pretty safe to assume the power is going to be on.
One of these days, it's
Till
going to
it's
get
not.
me. Yeah.
I mean, I think you'd notice because it would be backed up in all directions.
I flip them up for every traffic light. I just give them a little. That's why I never wear them when it's really bright out when I'm driving. They're like, I had them on for other reasons today, and I was just like, keep it going.
Just hiding your emotions.
It was a pretty emotional day for me.
Would you like to talk about it?
I would. So after staying up until very late last night, I slept in. I got a good nap. But then I played the whole game over, and I was very sad that there's only 2 levels. What was this, like the thing? No, I smoked my hand on the wall. It was bad. Lily heard it. She's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And then I just kept playing. Didn't notice I go in there. Like, your hand's bleeding. Uh-oh. Getting blood on all your stuff.
Yeah, it's bleeding here too. A fucking Titan ate it.
That's right, dude. For the Scout Regiment, I'm willing to bleed for Commander Irwin. What are you willing to do?
Yeah, dude. That speech. I still listen to that speech sometimes.
It's all humanity. Oh yeah, when he's like, "You gotta rage."
My soldiers do not die. My soldiers fight.
Dude, you get hyped. That show would get you hyped. He was such a good character too. When he was like creepily asking people, like, "What do you think about this?"
Yeah, they should have saved him instead of fucking know it all.
There were so many. It was like the same thing like Game of Thrones. Like everyone hates Joffrey. Like in Attack on Titan, like nobody's like, "Oh, Armin's my favorite character." Oh, I like how he was a crybaby. And if he just would have got rough a few times early, things would have been way better.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Annie, I love you so much. I could never tell you. Just come down here.
Even though you killed all of my friends.
Yeah, I still really like you a lot.
Still pretty obsessed with you.
Mm-hmm.
Just gonna come stare at your encased body.
A little crossover talk now. Are you a John Steinbeck fan at all? Grapes of Wrath, East of Eden.
Not really, no.
So in very popular books, probably had to read them in school, but in East of Eden, there's a bad lady called Kathy who's just terrible and does a bunch of bad things. But there's a guy that Adam that loves her, and just like he loves the vision that he projected on her, not her. And when I was reading that, I thought of Armin because I was like, he was falling in love with the idea of Annie, not who she actually was. So
yeah, also his best friend committed genocide, so maybe he's not the best judge of character.
he was his best friend before the genocide stuff.
But he wasn't.
Well, with the time skip stuff, it's hard to understand with time travel.
It's all a circle.
It's all, really good friends.
Just like watch that last episode, like Matthew McConaughey in True Detective. Like, time is a flat circle. Everything we do or have done, we are destined to do again, over and over again.
They should do a mashup of Matthew McConaughey and Attack on Titan.
Be pretty tight.
Like when he's like swinging to attack, he's just like, all right, all right, all right. Gotcha. It was really
cooler if he did.
It was really satisfying today, like cutting a Titan's leg off.
I'm sure.
And then they were down and then killing them.
Yeah.
This was really good. Just the flying was just so fucking fun. There was a VR game. God, I don't even remember what it was called, but it was one of the early ones, and like you could just like stick your arms out and fly. You could do that in Population 1, and it was just like I just remember giggling the first time. I was like, wee.
Yeah, I think I killed zombies in the only time I played VR.
All right.
One with a sword and then a different game with guns.
Yeah.
But if there is a zombie apocalypse, I think I'm going to be a double handgun guy, not a rifle guy.
What makes you say that?
Because of the game I played. I much preferred the double handguns over the rifle.
I always feel like ammo is going to be a real problem in the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like it's going to be melee weapons so fast.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Unless capitalism survives, then all resources are going into bullets.
Yeah. Did you ever listen to or read World War Z?
No, didn't see the movie either.
The movie's okay. Very okay. I was very high on LSD when I saw it in theaters. It was
Scary.
terrible. When I watched it the second time, I was like, I can't believe I thought that. I was telling everyone, I was like, this movie is incredible. It is a nail biter. I was on the edge of my seat the whole time.
Yeah.
Turns out one tab of acid will make a 3-star movie a solid 5-star movie. But in the books, it's really interesting because it's like the premise of the book is it's a war correspondent who goes out like after it's all over and just like collects stories of people. And one of them is a guy in the military, and they talk about that, like how all resources were going to certain things, and how in the beginning they were like crazy because they would like have like a laser, and they're like, that's insane. Like a laser costs like $1 billion to make, and you can only hit like so many zombies. And at the end, they were just making like shovels that had like hammers on them.
Yeah. Trench warfare.
Yeah, they're like, well, like one dude with that, he could kill like 20, and it costs you like a nickel to make these things. And they were just taking cars apart and smashing them into they called them like lobotomizers or something.
Yeah, I think you'd see a lot of pipe bombs.
Mm-hmm. I want to believe that I would like do a samurai sword just because it would look cool,
I'd carry one for sure.
but it'd be so impractical. Like swords, like you have to get like the edge angle like so right when you're swinging them.
For a zombie, yeah, you'd want a baseball bat would be 10 times
Mhm.
better.
Oh, I'm thinking like a warhammer.
Yeah, I'm just throwing out
Yeah,
things you already got around the house.
that's true. Honey, where's my fucking warhammer?
I do have a katana at my dad's house, but
Nice.
I don't.
Why do you keep it there?
Just it's a decoration, pretty much.
Did you get it when you were young?
Yeah.
Hold on. 15?
19 probably.
God damn, that's good. So you were driving.
Yeah, for sure.
Did you ever go up to Mackinac and go to like Enchanted Nights?
No.
I was in Sheboygan. I was growing up in Sheboygan. Mackinac was a little ways away, and they had like a bunch of swords up there. And I was like, oh, I just love looking at those swords.
I'd love to buy a sword.
Yeah.
I guess I already did.
I have
I've been thinking about buying another one.
I have a really nice machete. It's a Japanese pruning machete, so it's like designed to like cut like small trees up to like that, but it's like not that long and straight and really heavy.
The Japanese make a nice blade.
They really got it down now.
I've been thinking about investing in a Japanese kitchen knife.
I have one and it's the best.
Hell yeah.
I want to get one of the because it's not the katana. What's like the short one, the buddy one?
Is it-
It's like a tanto or something, or maybe that's the
Yeah.
knife.
I want to say Kitetsu. I don't know.
Nick Stafford, get back to us on that one. But yeah, I want the shorter one because like a katana in the van's too long.
Yeah.
I just want like a short thing because I keep the machete behind the driver's seat because it's just a good place to store it. And if I like needed to, if I'm ever in the city, the homeless go crazy. Fentanyl's. I feel like that, like in Portland, to keep on this wild tangent, like that's when Portland went from like, oh, like the homeless are just like having a hard time to like, holy shit, I gotta like be watching all the time. Is when fentanyl came out.
Yeah. I think my ideal apocalypse weapon. Sorry, I was listening to your fentanyl thing.
No, back to it
but
was
not
just-
registering it.
Yeah.
My ideal apocalypse weapon would be a chain with something heavy on the end of it.
so like the meteor
Yeah,
thing.
start swinging.
Phew.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch that fight in any anime? There's a couple different ones that did it between. Oh God, I'm blanking on the name. But it's a guy with a sword and like a guy with like the meteor hammer. It's like a very famous fight, like a sickle and hammer.
Yeah.
Those sickle and hammer fights are sweet.
Yeah. Sure.
You just want the ball and chain. You don't want the sickle on the other side.
At a certain point, I think I would adopt the sickle.
As your legend grew,
Yeah, I gotta train with this thing first
Yeah.
before I throw a knife on that.
just cut the shit out of yourself.
Yeah, just grab that,
Ah.
throw the other part, and hold it. Oh, there goes my
Dude,
fingers.
that would be so sad to die of just like an infection in the zombie apocalypse.
That'd be tough. Yeah.
Or like diarrhea, like you drink like the wrong, like they never show that in any of the shows. Like you drink the wrong water, you're like, we don't have time to boil it, just drink it now. Like, ugh.
Oh, zombies tearing you apart while you try to take a shit. And that's why you poop while you move like a horse.
If the zombie apocalypse happens, horses are gonna be like, we got you, get on. We can poop while we move.
Yeah.
That was good. That was a good full circle.
Yeah.
That was a good full circle.
That's why evolution.
Yeah, it's just horses are a step ahead. They're ready for the zombies in ways we aren't.
They kind of are, though.
Yeah.
Got good blunt force kicks.
It's right about head height, too. You do
Yeah.
a good back kick.
Short distances, it's hard to beat their speed.
I think that'd be the weapon that I would want. I would want a horse.
Horse would be tight.
Yeah.
You got to feed a horse, though.
Do you think horses could eat the zombies, or do you think it would turn them?
I think horses are traditionally herbivores, to my knowledge.
What if you started breeding a horse to eat zombie meat?
I don't know how that would work out.
Yeah.
A keto horse.
Probably not a keto. Probably more like karate. A keto is like a lot of rolls.
No, the diet keto.
Oh, keto. Okay. That makes more sense. A keto horse. Yeah. The horse would be like, I have such clarity. I have more time to train martial arts. This is awesome.
Yeah, karate seems like the move for a horse.
Like that back kick.
It's all just the one move, but
Mhm.
I fear not the man who's practiced 10,000 moves one time. I fear the man who's practiced one move 10,000 times.
The horses are way wiser than I knew before this podcast.
Turns out
I'm gonna have to go spend some time by horses.
they're kind of scary too.
Dude, horses scare the shit out of me.
I wouldn't fuck with a horse.
I have horse sat. I've house sat for a guy a couple times. We're gonna call him Noah because he has 2 dogs, 2 cats, and 2 horses. And I fucking hate feeding the horses because you have to like bring the food into their thing. And he's like, the first day, he's like, they can sense fear. I was like, that's no good because I'm obviously afraid of them. And you have to like put your hand on their forehead because they'll like come and like try to push up on you for the food. And then you gotta like walk them backwards. It's like they could bite my fucking arm off in one bite.
Yeah, the only reason horses aren't just killing people on the regular is they just don't know they can yet, I don't think.
100%. I feel like that's like the same thing with like schools and teachers. There's like 30 kids to one teacher. Like if they wanted to run amok.
I mean, I think they do.
Lately, yeah. I think kids realize that sometime around like cell phones.
Like teachers are getting hit by students on the regular.
It's insane.
That would blow my mind if I saw that happen.
I
while I was in school.
I substitute taught because my dad was a teacher when I came back to Michigan for a little bit. He's like, "Oh yeah, it's a great job. Like you can pick when you want to work this. It's a terrible job. They pay you nothing." And yeah, I had a kid that was in the 4th grade tell me that if I wanted him to do his work, I could suck his dick. I was like, dude, what are we talking about here?
I don't care if you do your work. You're the one who's going to be fucking living at your parents' place.
I told that to so many kids. I was like, fine, just don't do your work. I don't care how you end up. I'm not your teacher.
I don't give a shit about your future.
Nope. The craziest thing, so like I was just sending them down to the office in droves. They'd send them back. I was like, I don't think you understand. I sent them there for the rest of the class. I don't want them coming back. But like they don't, it's just like a game of like hot potato. Like they know that some kids are pieces of shit and they just pass them around the school.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I mean, they're not getting paid enough to deal with that shit.
I can't believe the American school system holds on for that much longer from what I saw.
Yeah.
All right, back in the game. No more coughing.
Hit your kids, people.
Yeah, for real. They need to be afraid of adults. They really do.
Yeah, some sort of authority.
Mm-hmm. Some sort of respect for authority.
I mean, keep an open hand. Don't do any permanent damage.
Some of them needed permanent damage, I think. But it needs to be the parents hitting it. Or they just need to create a new law. Like, sometimes teachers can hit kids.
Yeah, I think that should be okay.
Yeah, they should put cameras on, and all the parents of the kids in that class should be watching, and they can vote. Like, if they see a kid doing something bad, like if a majority votes, then the teacher gets a notification and can just, right.
That'd be pretty tight.
Yeah. And then they could sell that like pay-per-view. Like, compilation of kids getting hit by teachers.
I'd watch that video.
Oh, yeah, the other kids would love it too. They'd be like, ha, 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 ha.
That would probably lead to some cyberbullying, though.
Yeah. It's like, this fucking pussy can't take a hit.
Yeah.
Like, a teacher was writing it.
I can already Imagine the compilation synced up to X gonna give it to you.
Yeah. Snoop Dogg just commentating. Oh, O'Malley.
Ooh, she killing him.
Blunt force trauma.
He was asking for it.
Yep. That's what's tough about life. It's like, yeah, take the Buddhist route. It's the middle way. You can't be hitting kids all the time or too much, but you can't make them feel too safe in a world where they never get hit.
True.
You gotta find that smooth balance.
Yeah, because I mean the adult world, there's always the possibility you're gonna piss somebody off too much, and they're gonna go to fists quite quickly.
Yep.
You have to know how to navigate that.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be going to fists.
You know,
I
let's
mean,
go back. I was at a family reunion this week. People have heard about it. I saw my 11-year-old cousin like punch his dad. His dad kind of just like calmed him down. I was like, and that right there is why I can't be a father.
yeah,
I was like, oh, you think you can hit? Like, I've trained how to hit. I will fuck you up.
yeah,
I had to like restrain myself mentally because like my first thought, he was far enough away that if I took one big step, I could grab him by the collar, and he was facing the other way. And my first instinct was just to like grab him and just like trip him over my leg to the ground. I feel like he would deserve that.
simple display of dominance.
Yeah, yeah. Because that's why, like, as a larger man, as a big guy, I haven't done a lot of violence in my life, but I've trained for it. Like, I know there's loads of people that can fuck me up, and that's why I don't want to start things.
Yeah.
I feel like that people that don't understand that, they don't understand how bad violence is, and how many people, like, even if you're the baddest man around, somebody could hit you when you don't see him, and now you're not.
Yeah, dude, $1 million baby.
Appreciation. That was $1 million back then, dude. She's probably like a $4 million baby.
Shit.
Never find out. She got sucker punched.
Yeah.
Like people see those street compilations way too much where like the guy defends his girlfriend and like knocks 4 people out in a row. Like that's like lightning hitting somebody. Like, yeah, it happens. Not to very many people though.
More likely, one of those guys is going to stab you, and they're all going to run away.
Yeah, and something bad's gonna happen to your girlfriend. You gotta avoid those parts of town. That's the moral of that story.
Yeah. Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like there was a point we had that like really good high when like we brought all the jokes together that we had all night, and I was like, shit, we should have ended it then.
Just the horse pooping.
Yeah, and I keep waiting for like another high like that to be like, and that's the like, dang it, we're not hitting. That was the high point of the episode, I think, this week.
Might have been.
You got anything exciting this week coming up that you're looking forward to?
No, nothing at all for a while.
That's sad.
Got a show coming up in August, but haven't got the details on it yet.
Where at?
I think at Mistwood, the golf course. I think.
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't know if I should be talking about it because I don't know all the details yet.
Golf is cool though.
I don't know if it's a private event or.
If you're watching, you can't come.
I don't know if you can come. I'll let you know on Instagram when I do know.
How can people find you on Instagram, Joe?
_Joe_Curtis.
Ooh. Not to be confused with any other Joe Curtises. This is the real deal. You see another Joe Curtis, you report him.
If you see my father, you don't have to report him.
Your dad's Joe Curtis?
Yeah, I'm Junior.
Joe Curtis Jr.
Yeah.
JCJ. Juicy J. That's dumb. You thinking about having kids?
Not really.
Could have a Joe Double Jr.
I believe they call it the third.
with cheese.
Good.
I don't have kids. I don't know how this works.
I don't know.
I'm from Sheboygan. They don't name kids in Legacy. They name them things like Serenity and Nevaeh. Yeah. What do I got? I got the Right Brain show later in August.
Oh, hell yeah.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
I got some personal stuff. Gonna go canoeing on the Sturgeon this week. Yeah. Shout out to my buddy Sean. It's always fun.
Oh yeah.
Yep. And I'm gonna see Hosier
Ooh,
with Lily next week.
nice.
Yeah, that's gonna be very fun. And then she's got a birthday party. Not a birth. She has a birthday. Not a birthday. That's weird to say that she has a birthday. And then the August Sheboygan show.
Oh yeah.
You thinking about coming up for that?
Depends on when I get off work and shit. I'm not gonna take work off for it, but if I get off early,
Early enough to head on up.
I'll come up.
How often? Because yeah, your work's just like you have a job and you have to finish it.
Yeah, pretty much most days.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a big job, so it's not like,
Multi-day.
yeah. But I got to keep on track with the schedule.
I need to eventually find a new job. Maybe.
I think we're hiring if you're interested.
What I want though, what I really want, what I'm really obsessed with is I want a job like we were talking earlier in the marijuana industry, like the people that run deliveries, they just work for like 48 hours straight. Like I
Yeah.
just want something because like right now I'm just 3 days a week and it's like 30 hours. So I'm basically working like 4 days a week.
Yeah.
But something like that I could do remotely.
Be tight.
Yeah. I think maybe I could be like a good like a assistant, like an online assistant. I'm good at doing research.
Maybe you could be the producer.
We got to start making money.
Yeah.
That's what I'll do. Like Nick Stafford can like get it going, and then once it starts making money, we can fire him
Yeah.
and then hire me in.
Sounds like a good plan.
I'll cut this. Now I'm gonna leave this part in for you, Nick. I'm just joking. We wouldn't. I'm gonna cross my fingers behind my back. We wouldn't ever do that.
Well,
I think we're at the end.
as a horse drops a pile and keeps moving, so does life, and so does this podcast. Thank you for tuning in.
Hey, this has been Anime Stuff. We love you. No. I was just